Just like most people who watched Xbox's showcase, I went like this. And this is, obviously, because of the lack of exciting new exclusives, these pre-rendered cutscenes, and no gameplay. These movie clips don't tell us anything about what the game is like or what they're about. Like, what do you get from this? This wasn't a Nintendo Direct Mini and Partner Showcase situation, where you have multiple games lined up of which you are waiting to hear more about, and then get these sort of things.
Welcome to WWE Action!
Instead, it simply seems like Xbox just doesn't really have anything to show. And they must be aware of this. Why else would they have Master Chief on the waiting screen, and why else would Spencer be wearing a Halo Infinite shirt? I understand Halo Infinite was supposed to be the biggest event, but it also felt like the only event, and any possible excitement about any other game was immediately shut down by the CGI stuff. The Xbox needs to be more than just Halo and other smaller titles, especially if Game Pass is to be worth anything. Xbox is so focused on this power stuff, and it's causing them to brag about running 2D side-scrolling indie games at 120 FPS. Yes, I know, frames win games. And yes,
Guys like power stuff.
but also, no. The thing is, games are already able to look so good, especially exclusives, because the developers are creating the game for that one console. In terms of power, PCs will always have the upper hand, or they will at least gain the upper hand quickly. So what do companies do? They pump out exclusives, they pump out custom parts that will encourage developers to try new things, and they make games a better experience on their console. Of course, the next generation consoles need to be significantly more powerful than the previous generation, and it's expected that they support ray tracing. But when you start comparing the PlayStation 5's 10 teraflops to Series X's 12, it starts to get a little pointless. And even though Microsoft is bragging about all this power stuff, none of the games showcased looked that good graphically, probably because there was no gameplay. And no, I'm sorry Xbox, but showing this in-engine stuff doesn't cut it. And I know there are plenty of people not too happy about how Halo Infinite looked. I personally like the cartoonish style and how colorful it is, but I also see the potential in the game looking better. But Infinite holds itself back because of its release on Xbox One. Though as of right now the game is looking worse than a PS4 game, things can change between now and the game's release. And even if nothing does, that's fine because the game is already looking really fun. And as a wise man once said,
If it's not fun, why bother?
I'm not a huge Xbox fan, but I was still rooting for it. Because I like games. I want good games to come out. But ever since the Xbox One, things have been looking grim. Like the Xbox One was basically just a Blu-ray player and a cable box combined, with Master Chief Collection. And Series X just seems like a worse version of a PC. Come on Spencer, you can do it. Xbox is the only console representing America and the Japanese are taking over the world. So let's see some tasty spaghetti tacos. Good luck and good night.